now with 15 minutes left. Joining me, Phil Streible, the chief market strategist at Blue Line Futures, with a last-minute Friday look of Phil. Stocks might just end this week unch.
Yeah, I know. It looks pretty sad. I mean, the three asset classes that traders are watching are the big tech, Bitcoin, and Bullion. So the mega cap tech that led the charge here today looks like a bit more rotation was taking place. You got the Dow stocks are having their trouble, especially with Boeing. McDonald's, Apple also under some trouble. Some of the bank stocks are getting hit with Goldman and JP Morgan. So we do have 5 of the Magnificent 7. They report next week. So next week, ton of economic data coming out, earnings, election jitters.
Oh, yeah.
NVIDIA doesn't report till November. So if you look at the NASDAQ, I think 20,000, that's your big significant level. That's kind of your line in the sand, the 50-day moving average. We break below that, it's going to shift from bullish to neutral. More rotation takes place. And then the next major level, 19,235, that's your 200-day moving average.
All right. So you're definitely into the NASDAQ. You're into big tech for sure. I like your 3 Bs. Big tech, Bitcoin, and Bullion. Spoken like a true commodities trader. What's up with gold? Taking a little breather this week?
Yeah, a little bit of troubles. I mean, you know, you still have some. You got the election, you got geopolitical tensions, you got the Fed. The problem is that there's such a strong correlation between crude oil futures, the dollar index, 2-year treasury yields, and then that weighs in on the gold market. So it has all the dips we've seen this week have been, it's been a higher low. We've seen a lot of buying come in there. Your really critical level is 2708. That was the September high. So that old resistance, new support. We break below 2700. I think you get a small shift from bullish to neutral in the stance. 2650, that was that area we ping-ponged for a while. So, those are kind of your key levels there, but I still anticipate a lot of people just coming in, broadening out the exposure, continuing to buy, and that asset class should be supported.
What do you think about silver this week? Basically, seemingly kind of held this 33 plus, but definitely got hit pretty hard earlier in the week.
Yeah, silver is like the Antonio Brown of the precious metals complex. So you might win a Super Bowl and he might just rip off his jersey and walk out on you. So gold silver ratio 1 week ago when I was on was 84-1, dropped to 78-1 on Tuesday, finished up the week at 81-1. So definitely it's operating as its own animal. It needs China behind it. It needs that new stimulus. So I'd say November 4th to 8th is when they're supposed to come out, talk a little bit more about some additional stimulus measures. I know the IMF said that it just wasn't enough here this morning. That's why we were under pressure early on and we're kind of lifting back up. So fundamentals on silver make sense, but the price action's a bit wild.
I love it. I say high beta, you say like Antonio Brown. Brothers, but of different sides of the coin. I love it. Phil, so all right, if you got to put one thing on it the next week into the earnings, sounds like you like the big tech stuff, or you think if we break that moving average, then it could be trouble?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, I like big tech. I mean, I think that that's the spot to go. I like being a little bit farther out, maybe with NVIDIA and things like that. I mean, I think that all these asset classes, people are coming in and they're buying the dips on there. I'm not in the camp that once the election happens, it's all over. I think that both sides of the party, both types of participants are going to come in there. They're going to trim some exposure. They're going to buy the put protection. Doesn't matter who you're voting for. That's just your natural defensive play. The event occurs. The market rallies, you unwind those hedges and you go back long. So it's just like whether you're picking the Dodgers, you're picking the Yankees. One person thinks, everyone's going to lose. So the Dodgers think the Yankees are going to lose. And then what ends up happening, they got to lift their hedges.
I like it. Well, that's why you don't gamble with your heart, though.
Exactly.
Appreciate you, Phil. Have a great weekend. Thank you, sir.